In this lecture, we are going to study about the pregnancy, placenta and parturition. In the previous lectures, we have studied about male and female reproductive system, process of gametogenesis, that is the process of sperm and ovum formation. Later on, we have studied about the process of fertilization and embryonic development. After this embryonic development, we are going to study about pregnancy, which is also called as gestation. What's the meaning of this word pregnancy? It is the condition of carrying one or more embryos in the uterus. I think you remember the structure uterus, which is a female reproductive organ where the growth of embryo takes place. So sometimes one embryo grows and sometimes more than one embryo grows in the uterus, and that condition is called as pregnancy or gestation period. What is the time period required for gestation? This time period required is 266 days from the fertilization of the egg, or it can be 280 days from the start of last menstrual cycle. How can it be? 266 days from the fertilization of the egg. That means fertilization takes place on the 14th day of the cycle, and hence we can consider 266 days from the fertilization of the zygote and 280 days from the start of menstrual cycle. So we have to add 14 days in 266. So it will be from the start of last menstrual cycle. Remember, this point can be asked in MCQ. Then this human pregnancy, which is of approximately 9 months, is divided into 3 trimesters. Each of this consists of 3 months. We will see the details of this 3 trimesters of human pregnancy. See here, this chart is there showing the changes in embryo, changes in mother's body and hormonal changes during these trimesters, during these 3 trimesters. We'll see the first trimester, which is from the fertilization to the 12th week. That means first 3 months. What are the changes seen in the embryo? See, it is the main period of organogenesis. What's the meaning of organogenesis? It is the organ formation. Genesis for formation of organs. By the end of 8th week, all the organs of adults are developed and found in rudimentary, that is underdeveloped form. The embryo is now called as fetus. Remember this sentence. The embryo is now called as fetus when it consists of all the organs in rudimentary form. It is 7 to 10 centimeter long, and one of the important feature, heartbeat can be heard in the first trimester. So these are the changes seen in case of embryo. Then what are the changes seen in mother's body? In mother's body, growth of the placenta takes place. Uterus becomes large, menstrual cycle and ovulation stops. As the pregnancy is there, as the zygote is get formed, the menstrual cycle and the further ovulation is stopped. At the same time, mother experiences morning sickness. What is this morning sickness? It is nausea, vomiting, mood swings, etc. And what is the change in hormone? There is high level of progesterone. Progesterone is secreted by corpus luteum, as we have seen before. So this corpus luteum secreting progesterone, and progesterone is required for development of the endometrium as well as its maintenance for the growth of embryo. We'll see the second trimester, which is from 13 to 26 week. Again, next 3 weeks. What are the changes seen in embryo? Your fetus becomes very active. Development of brain begins. Remember this. Development of brain begins in the second trimester. Head, hair, eyebrows, eyelashes appear and pinnae are distinct. So these are the organs which are seen externally. And what is the size of baby? It reaches half of the size of newborn and it is about 30 centimeter long. What are the changes seen in mother's body? Here uterus becomes large and obvious, and baby's movement can be felt by the mother. This is again one of the significant change, that is movement of the baby can be felt by the mother. What are the hormonal changes seen? Here HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin, it declines. That means its levels falls down. Then corpus luteum deteriorates, that means degenerate, and the function of corpus luteum is performed by now placenta. So the production of placenta, it becomes the function of production of progesterone becomes the function of placenta, which maintains the pregnancy. So these are the changes seen during trimester. In the second trimester, we have seen changes in embryo, mother's body and hormonal changes. Now we will see the third trimester, which is from 27 week till parturition, that is till childbirth. So during third trimester, the changes seen in embryo are the size of embryo becomes 50 centimeter long and the weight is about 3 to 4 kilogram. And in this phase, eyes are open. Again, this is a significant change. Changes in mother body are uterus expand, mother's abdominal organs compressed, and because of compression of abdominal organ, there will be frequent urination and digestive blockages are seen, as well as there is strain in back muscle is there. Okay, so these are the changes seen in the mother's body and in the embryo. So this is for the 3 trimesters of the pregnancy. Question of 3 mark can be asked. It can be asked in the form of the stages of pregnancy and the changes in embryo for 3 marks, separately changes in mother's body for 3 marks. So this is one of the important part of this topic. Now we are going to see about the next part, which is called as pregnancy. Pregnancy we have studied. Now we are going to study about placenta. This placenta, it is a flat discoid organ, disc-like organ. Important point, it is a temporary organ formed for limited period of time, and that's why temporary organ. Then it is formed from 2 individuals, that is from fetus and from the mother's body. So it is having the participation of 2 individuals in its formation. It is found attached to the wall of uterus and to the baby's umbilical cord. We'll see the diagram so that your ideas will be clear. See, this is the diagram, what it shows. You can see here, this is the uterine wall, that is the wall of uterus, inner wall of the uterus, that is endometrium. This is called as placenta and this is the fetus. You can see that here, this is the umbilical cord, which is from the embryo side. This umbilical cord, it penetrates into the wall of endometrium through this chorionic villi. These villi are the crypts-like structure which penetrates into the uterine endometrium. So here this complex structure is get formed, which is called as placenta. We'll see one more diagram for the placenta. Here this is the uterus. Here this is the embryo, developed one, and it consists of this cord-like structure which is called as umbilical cord, which is found attached to this placenta. Here this much part is elaborated. This is the elaborated diagram. So this, in this elaborated diagram, you can see this is umbilical cord, and this umbilical cord through this chorionic villi is found penetrated into the endometrial wall. So this is placenta and this is umbilical cord. You can see the connection properly. Okay, so this is about placenta. This is, we have seen that in placenta the chorionic villi are seen. This chorionic villi is the part of fetal placenta, and blood supply, that is uterine wall, it is from the maternal side, and that's why this human placenta is called as hemochorial. This word chorial is for the chorion, from the embryo side, from its extra embryonic membrane chorion, and this word hemo is for blood supply from the uterine endometrium. So this is for placenta. What is the function of this placenta? This placenta is for exchange of material from mother to the fetus and from fetus to the mother. From mother's body, oxygen and nutrients are supplied to the fetus, to the embryo, and from fetus body carbon dioxide and the metabolic waste are given out to the endometrial region so that it can be given out. So this is the most important function, that is it bring about exchange of material between fetal and maternal blood. Next to that, we are going to study about umbilical cord. What is this umbilical cord? Connection between the fetus and this uterine wall, or we can say that is the placenta. So connection between fetus and placenta, it is called as umbilical cord. In the second diagram also it is very clear. This is the umbilical cord, connection between fetus and placenta. So this umbilical cord, placenta is attached to fetus through the umbilical cord and it consists of 3 blood vessels. Of these, 2 are small arteries which carries deoxygenated blood from baby to placenta, and it consists of a vein which carry oxygenated blood from placenta to the baby. What is the function of placenta? We have seen it bring about exchange of material between the embryo and the mother's body. Other function of placenta is that it acts as an endocrine gland. It secretes HCG, progesterone and estrogen. These are the hormones secreted by placenta. Hence it becomes the endocrine gland. One more hormone, relaxin, is there, but it is secreted by ovary in later phase of pregnancy, which is required after the parturition for relaxing the pelvic muscles or the region of pelvic which is expand during the process of parturition. So this is all about the umbilical cord and the placenta, its structure and function. Pregnancy already we have studied. Condition of carrying 1 or more embryos in the uterus, having required about 266 days from the fertilization of the egg, or we can say 280 days from the start of last menstrual cycle, and it is divided into 3 trimesters. We have seen already the details of all 3 trimesters. Now we are going to study about parturition. This word parturition means childbirth. So it is a process of giving birth to young ones which involves labor pain. What is this labor pain? It involves physical activities like uterine and abdominal contraction, dilation of cervix and passage of baby through the vagina. Okay, so this is for labor pain as it requires lots of energy. It is called as labor. So labor pain, characteristic feature of parturition. Say that it is a complex neuroendocrine mechanism involving the hormones and nervous coordination also. So becomes neuroendocrine mechanism. Signals arises from fully developed fetus and the placenta. See that it is accompanied by rise in progesterone and estrogen ratio, as well as increase in oxytocin receptors in uterine muscles. We'll see the details of this process of parturition. It also involves hormonal changes, as I said before. In the process of parturition, some fetal secretions takes part. What are the fetal secretions? It is ACTH from pituitary gland and corticosteroid from adrenal gland. What are this? This ACTH, what's the full form? It is adrenocorticotropic hormone which is secreted from anterior pituitary. As we have seen before, adrenocorticotropic hormone, it is secreted from anterior pituitary and act on adrenal gland for secretion of corticosteroid. So this hormone, it stimulates the mother's pituitary gland to secrete oxytocin. So mother's pituitary gland, its neurohypophysis or posterior lobe starts secreting oxytocin. This oxytocin, it acts on uterine wall of the uterus, especially myometrium. It starts showing strong contraction and relaxation which leads to expulsion of baby from the uterus, and this process is called as parturition. So remember, this is for the hormonal control during the process of parturition. This process of parturition also involves 3 stages, and these 3 stages of parturition are: the first stage, which is called as dilation, second stage is called as expulsion, and third stage is called as placental or after birth. We'll see the changes. In the first step or dilation, regular peristaltic contraction of the wall of uterus takes place, which is under the control of hormone oxytocin. So this oxytocin, as its level rises, this myometrium starts showing contraction and relaxation. Because of that, the fetus, it moves down towards the cervix with the head foremost. At the same time, there is rupturing of amnion and chorion takes place, and because of that, amniotic fluid, it comes out. It is required for lubrication of vagina. It lasts for about 12 hours. That means it's a longer phase of this parturition, required near about 12 hours. Because of that, fetal placenta is pulled out and it makes the baby free. So these are the changes taking place during the first stage, dilation. During second stage of expulsion, it lasts for about 20 to 60 minutes. That means near about 1 hour is required. During this period, uterine contraction becomes more powerful, and it also involves abdominal contraction. And this contraction of abdominal muscles and uterine contraction, that is muscles of uterus, it bring about the process of expulsion of the baby. That means the baby is pushed through dilated cervix and vagina with the head foremost, and finally it will be delivered. During this, the umbilical cord is ligatured at 2 places. It is tied at 2 places and it is cut. Ligaments of the pelvic girdle are relaxed by the hormone relaxin. Okay, so we'll see diagrammatically how the process of parturition takes place. So this is a diagram. This is placenta shown here. Through the placenta, baby is getting the nourishment and oxygen, and this placenta is attached to the baby's body with the help of umbilical cord. Here this is the part of female reproductive tract, showing cervix, rectum, vagina, urinary bladder, urethra and pubic symphysis. That is the organs which are found in pelvic region. In the second step, you can see here amniotic sac is ruptured, so the fluid, it comes out. And in the next step, it is shown that this baby's head, it comes out through this vagina region. That means baby is delivered. And once the baby is delivered here, this part of the placenta and umbilical cord is seen here. This umbilical cord is the connection between the baby and the placenta. So once the baby is delivered, here this umbilical cord, it is ligatured at 2 places. It is tied at 2 places, and in the center a cut is given. Why it is tied at 2 places? It is to avoid the bleeding, further loss of blood. So now baby is delivered, and this remaining part, that is placenta, this umbilical cord and amnion and chorion which are ruptured, it remains inside. Okay, so this is the part of stages of parturition. We have seen 2 stages in the 2 stages before, and now the third stage, which is called as placental or after birth. This placental stage, it lasts for just 10 to 15 minutes, and in this stage, placenta, umbilical cord and fetal membranes, which is called as after birth, are expelled out by contraction. Further contraction of the uterus closes the cervix and further bleeding is stopped. So during second stage of expulsion, actual parturition takes place. That means birth of the baby takes place. Okay, so this is about the process of parturition. After this process of parturition, we have to study next part, which is called as lactation. What is this lactation? In this process of lactation, mammary gland starts secreting milk, and this secretion of milk, it takes place at the end of pregnancy. Hormone required for the secretion of milk is hormone prolactin, which is secreted by anterior pituitary. And this milk, it helps in feeding the newborn baby. This colostrum is the secretion again by the mammary glands only just soon after the childbirth. What it consists of? It consists of proteins, lactose and the antibodies. IgA type of antibodies are found in colostrum. So through this antibodies, baby is getting passive immunity. See that this colostrum, in the colostrum fat content is very low and it helps in developing resistance in the newborn baby. Okay, so this is about the lactation and the colostrum, which is the secretion of mammary gland soon after the birth. Okay, so this is about the process of gestation, that is pregnancy, later on parturition, and we have seen the lactation and colostrum also.